Hey everybody, it's going to be a short stream. I have about an hour gap in my schedule, so give us one moment. We're here walking in Central Park, right on Central Park South. But what I want to do, since it's the daytime, I want to take everybody to one of my favorite residential neighborhoods in all of New York City, and it is called Sutton Place. Hey, Dan Zhang, what's up? I know, Dan's like, is it a thing now that it rains during the weekends? It's been raining almost every weekend here in New York. So we'll see how the city holds up with all the flooding. I'm sure all of you remember the crazy flooding just from a few weeks ago that caused unbelievable damage in parts of the city in Brooklyn as well. Hey, I see Palm Trees is here. Daniel, what's up? Soho Joe. So what do you guys think about these daytime live streams? I want to try to do the best job I can to show off as much of New York City, the best locations, the best neighborhoods, best places to live. And I think it's appropriate to show the audience what it looks like both during the day and at night. So I'll try the best I can. Usually I have a pretty busy schedule, but I read this book. I'm not all the way through it yet. I like to get all the way through a book before I recommend it, but it's all about time boxing. I'm sure most of you have heard about that before, but really scrutinizing your schedule and time boxing out your day. So if I have an hour, maybe an hour and a half, I'll try to pack that with as much activity as possible. And I think that means, showing off some notable buildings, some interesting listings. And today, we are here at Central Park South. We are looking up at Billionaires Row. You see 220 Central Park South, Central Park Tower, 157 Steinway Building, and the Essex House. And Central Park looks quite nice, everybody, during the rain. Hey, Lena Sandoval's here. So Tom, I like the daytime stream a lot. Thank you for showing us. Appreciate it. Susan Wolin, what's up? Yeah, I've been getting a lot of emails, particularly from people looking to move to New York, saying, hey, what does this neighborhood look like during the day live? So today, we are going to be exiting Central Park, and we are going to be checking out one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of New York City in terms of a residential place to live. It is called Sutton Place. Hey, Mark Davis is here from Canada. Good to see you, Mark. I trust you're well over there in Toronto. Hopefully the weather's a little bit better up by where you are. But Mark, it's good to see you as always. Mark is making some really interesting headways, into the medical marijuana space. So it's always fantastic to hear about those updates. All right, so let's make a right. And we will head to the east side of Manhattan. Real quick, the building with the gold top that's directly in front of us, that's my old building. That is 106 Central Park South. It's a really, really amazing building. I don't have enough positive things to say about that particular building. It's directly on the corner of 6th Avenue in Central Park South. It's unbelievable. The staff is amazing. Full service, doorman, 24/7, 365. And one of the things I like about the building is that it's not those super tall high-rise that you see directly in front of us, like 432, 157, or even Central Park Tower. It's all of the original Art Deco style and feel of the olden New York, but you have that exposure to Central Park. It's really a beautiful place. Hey, Mark says, yes, Tom, more headway has been made in research and sciences of medicine and cannabis. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing a lot more about it. And you know what? You could actually see some of the leaves changing color already. Hey, Stephanie's here. Gary Carpenter, what's up? Dan sang in the chat. How is, you never gave us an update on your new job. I think you were telling me you accepted an offer somewhere. So hopefully that's going well for you. Trust it is. Let's see if I can adjust the brightness. All right, we're gonna make a detour and go all the way over to the east side. It's actually quite calming and peaceful when it rains like this. Really, the only thing I don't like is when it's raining and it's windy as all hell. You know what I mean? But when it's just drizzling like this and it's not too cold, it's actually quite nice walking through the park in the fall. Hey, Tyler Silva is here. What's up? Spooky Duck. This is awesome background noise while finishing up the work week. Thanks again, Tom. Always a pleasure. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's always good to enjoy Central Park during the autumn time, during the fall. You see all the beautiful foliage. And of course, the backdrop of beautiful Billionaire's Row. That's true. I want to wish everybody a happy Friday. It is the final home stretch of the week. Hopefully everybody's having a great week so far, finishing it off strong. Yeah, Mark says, Tom, have you been by the Dakota Apartments lately? We have, a couple times. One of the people on my team actually has a really nice listing right across the street from the Dakota. So I believe it's a 2-bedroom apartment and it overlooks the front doors of the Dakota, which is amazing. Hey, Bighorn MT, what's up? This is Happy Friday. Welcome to Central Park in the rain. Yeah, but it's been a busy week, guys. Last night on the live stream, we covered a lot. We got through a lot of material. Obviously, we covered the National Association of Realtors, their existing home sales report. We talked about the bond market, some major movements in the debt market. If you look at the 10-year Treasury yield yesterday, for a brief point in time intraday, we had a 5% yield on the 10-year, which is quite significant. You know, it's the first time that has happened since 2007. So, you know, as we talk about the 30-year fixed rate mortgage, you know, there's a very high correlation between the 10-year and the 30-year fixed. I mean, guys, look at the contrast here. Just look at how tall the Steinway Tower is. And it is so thin and so slender in comparison to the vast majority of the buildings that line Central Park South. It's really incredible. Hey, Jacqueline is here. This is greeting from New England, Rhode Island. What's up, Jacqueline? Happy Friday to you. Welcome to Central Park in New York City. We're going to be walking to Sutton Place. Hey, Dave. This is Tom, Walks on Wall Street. Good afternoon, sir. Having my 4 o'clock coffee with you. Thank you, Dave. Closing bells right now. Closing bell is ringing for the week. A little bit of a punishing week on Wall Street, to be honest. Corporate earnings have come in a little bit lackluster. We talked about Tesla yesterday. Really abysmal report. Usually I tend to be a little bit upbeat, but Yeah, kind of egregious, horrible report. You know what happens. We'll see if they can bounce back. We talked about that massive hit to operating margin there. Single digits from double digits. And Elon Musk had a little bit of interesting outlook on the economy. We covered that in depth yesterday on the stream. Using people is here. Hey, good to see you. Hey, Aaron says, was thinking about taking my wife to Manhattan, but the news are displaying it is a madhouse. Well, I think the news portrays sensationalism, right? I always like to use this is the rule I use, and I'm not sure if you guys are following me on Twitter, but I posted this the other day. I'm following a new rule now, and I'd like to invite all of you who are members of the Walks on Wall Street stream to join me in this rule. And the rule is the following: any major breaking news that is breaking between now and the end of the year, I'm going to deem it about 30% fabricated right off the bat for 2 weeks, for the first 2 weeks. And that's just because, unfortunately, what I've seen over particularly the past month, is it seems like media outlets, particularly the legacy media outlets, are only worried about being first, not about being accurate, right? I think that's quite dangerous, because that leads to sensationalism of the news, and 9 times out of 10, the people don't see the corrections of the news, right? If a big news agency like Fox News or CNN reports something that's incorrect, well, guess what? They do make it right and they put out the correction, but guess what? Maybe 30% of the people see the correction, so there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and it's all about driving clicks. So to your point, yeah, is the migrant crisis a massive, major crisis in the city, and does it need to be addressed? Absolutely, 100%. I'm not going to pretend like that's not a major issue. It is. But I think the city is still a wonderful place to visit. And, I think you and your wife would both be missing out if you didn't at least venture into the city and enjoy yourself and look at all the beautiful things that are surrounding Central Park and all the amazing things the city has to offer. There's always going to be good and bad in every city, but just know that when you're looking at a news story, they're going to hyper focus on the sensationalism, and they don't want to portray the good parts and the bad. On this stream, I try to be fair and show you the good and the bad. But yes, is the migrant crisis a major issue? Absolutely, 100%. But it's not all throughout the city. I would say it's in pockets, particularly near the hotels that are now being converted into shelters. So hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully you'll be able to visit New York. Speaking of new attractions, well, I shouldn't say new, right? I should just say seasonal attractions, I guess. Rockefeller Center, they're building the ice skating rink, and I think the grand opening is this weekend? Or maybe next week, sometime next week, which is crazy to think about. We are now on 6th Avenue and Central Park South, and it's 4 o'clock, so we are coming right up to rush hour here. And they finally took all the scaffolding down at 106 Central Park South. Look at the amazing architecture on this building. They just resurfaced the entire facade here at 106 Central Park South, which is an amazing building. I would highly, highly recommend, if you're looking to move to Central Park South or Midtown Manhattan, that is a great building. I've lived there. The staff is fantastic, very clean. It's like you could eat off the floor in there. Hey, Sharon says, hey Tom, wishing for some rain down here. Yeah, I mean, I think I read, or maybe it was somebody who posted it in the chat, it may have been Dan Sang, said that this is the most rainy start to fall we've ever had in New York City. And I believe it. It's been raining every weekend. It's kind of crazy. So this is the main Central Park South sort of cobblestone walkway here. And it's really nice because you can see the contrast between all the major buildings, and then you have the very start of Central Park. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, Central Park is the largest park in Manhattan, and it stretches from 59th Street all the way up to 110th Street Cathedral Parkway. This is the Park Lane Hotel here. I know the ABX girl says 8 rainy Saturdays in a row. Yeah, Mr. Ruiz. Yeah, I get it. Like, I mean, you just have to think about copywriting. You know, what is the headline that somebody's going to click on? You know, New York City plunges into turmoil and it's never going to come back. And it's an all-out crisis and a nightmare. You know, that's going to drive more clicks than, you know, the migrant crisis is a major problem. But here are some solutions that we could, you know, collectively implement to mitigate the issue, right? It's all about, you know, ratings. It's ratings business. Sharon says, which area in Manhattan would you say is the worst to walk through when it rains? Whew. I would say Lower Manhattan, but maybe I'm a little bit biased because I used to work down there for many years. And when it's very rainy and windy down there, it is not very pleasant. But look at how beautiful Central Park looks, though, in the rain. This is an amazing shot. You can already see some of the trees or the leaves changing color. I'll try to put on the wide angle lens so you can see. That's a really beautiful shot. In a couple more weeks, it's going to be peak foliage, I believe. And right across the street, we have the very famous Plaza Hotel. But remember, on the Central Park south side of the plaza is the residences. So this is where people live. But on the other side, facing the GM building, that is the main entrance to the hotel. And it looks like foot traffic is picking up a little bit. But he's probably leaving the office for the day. And this building is the Sherry Netherland. We talk about this all the time. This is probably one of my favorite views of the city. You could see 432 Park Avenue. You could see the GM building, and right in front of us, you have the very famous Sherry Netherland, which for me is very famous for Jesse Livermore. If you ever read the book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, it was based upon the life of famous stock trader Jesse Livermore. And he would go down to Wall Street and trade in the bucket shops during the day. And at night, he would come back to Central Park South and hang out at the bar at the Sherry Netherland and have a drink. It's a very good book if you're interested in the stock market, finance in general. I think that is a must-required reading. And the big black building in the distance is the Trump Tower. All right, but we have to head a little bit further over on the east side because we are going to go to Sutton Place and check out the East River and the brand new East River Park that they're building. Colton says, what book was that? It's called Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, and it's based on the life of Jesse Livermore. Right here, 781 Fifth Avenue. Right at the start of Central Park. So this is facing southbound. If you take Fifth Avenue all the way down, you'll run into the Empire State Building. And it'll pretty much drive you all the way to Madison Square Park on 23rd Street. You know, we'll go up one and over just because the traffic will be a little bit lighter here. Now, the reason why we're going to take a look around Sutton Place is because we've talked about this before on the stream. And one of the things we're seeing in the New York City real estate market, particularly in Manhattan, is that cooperatives or co-ops are trading at discounts in relation to comparative price per square foot from condominiums. And the reason for this is because condos have become really, really fashionable amongst New Yorkers, particularly foreigners who are moving to New York to either buy a primary residence or a pied-à-terre. They want all of the, amenities and the like that come with condominiums. So co-ops, if you want just a nice place to stay in an older building with no amenities, you can actually get a pretty good deal. Probably negotiate a significant reduction in price. D, I think those are interchangeable words. This is a good shot looking across to the west side. You can see 15 Central Park West, the Trump Tower, and then the two Deutsche Bank towers. Or I should say the Deutsche Bank Center. Hey, the ABX girl, what's up? This is co-ops are the entryway to home ownership, particularly lower to upper middle class zip codes. I don't know about that. Co-ops are sometimes very, 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 very difficult to even purchase in them. I mean, we're working on a couple deals where, the buyer has all of the cash to buy the place in all cash, and they still have to get through the approvals to the co-op boards. Some co-op boards can be very snooty, let's just say. And the strange thing, even though, of all the fair housing laws in New York, they're some of the strictest in the country, a lot of people don't know this, but a co-op board does not have to give you a reason why they denied you. So let's say if, a managing director at Goldman Sachs is on the board of his cooperative, and another managing director from Deutsche Bank wants to buy in the building. If he has a vendetta or a grudge, he could say, nah, I don't think so, I don't want it, and just deny you for any reason. So co-ops are, sometimes it's very, very difficult to purchase in a co-op. It's a little bit of a pain, and that's why in New York there's been this transition to condos that really kicked off for that reason alone. Because back in the day, a lot of foreign buyers, they had the cash, they had all of the money to purchase these apartments, but they were still getting denied just because they were foreigners. So real estate developers saw this, and they saw an opportunity in the marketplace to say, hey, there's a huge demand for foreigners from Argentina, from Asia, particularly China, Japan, India, South Korea. Huge demand for multimillionaires, billionaires to purchase apartments in New York. And so they started to build these ultra luxury condominiums in Midtown. One of the first ones to set off that trend was the Olympic Tower, which is the building we stream past all the time. Olympic Tower sits right next to the St. Patrick's Cathedral. And that was a complete sellout. And the vast majority of the buyers there were all foreigners, I believe from Argentina and Latin American countries. So co-ops can be a little bit of, I would say, a more original New Yorker kind of, old money. Not all the time, but sometimes it's tough to be able to purchase there. All right, everybody, this is Park Avenue. And it is very, very, very busy here on Park Avenue. Why? Because it is Friday during rush hour. You can see all of the traffic headed southbound and northbound. But I think all the flowers here are really beautiful too. Wow, look at this. This is a beautiful church, amazing architecture here. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. And if you'd like more in-depth deep dives on New York City real estate and the equity market in general, I send an email to all of our Walks in Wall Street subscribers every other Thursday after the market closes, where we cover major corporate earnings, we cover global equities, fixed income, and real estate. So if you want to receive all of our research for free, completely free, it's a great way to support the channel. Go ahead and scan the QR code and you will be signed up for our Substack, and you can read all of our archived research and even listen to it in audio version. And the audio version will now be narrated by myself. So as long as you have the Substack app, you can listen to the narration. You don't even have to read it. So feel free to do that. This is a really interesting bar room restaurant. Look at that. Very cool outdoor dining space. What is this? This looks like the original sort of bronze or cast iron windows here. Very beautiful. Hey, Sabrina Fair, welcome to the Upper East Side of Manhattan on a very rainy afternoon. But we have to press on and continue on. We're going to go all the way to the water, and we are going to check out Sutton Place. I think Bloomingdale's is coming up on the right. I think it's that building right there. Also Bloomberg, the main Bloomberg headquarters. Former mayor of New York City, actually. Mayor Michael Bloomberg. That's his main office. Yeah, Dee says, Tommy, you noticing any outdoor dining spaces being removed? I'm actually noticing a few. Mainly the ones that were totally run down and in disrepair. Those ones are coming down. But all the other ones are up and seem to be doing fine. But not for nothing, I don't know. I kind of like, as long as the restaurant keeps, the structural integrity of the outdoor dining, intact, I don't see a problem with it. I think it actually looks quite nice in the city. So this is Bloomingdale's right here. This is on Lexington Avenue and East 60th Street. And we are also very close to Bloomberg. You can see it's very busy here because you can get the 6 train, and it is pretty much right at rush hour, and we're close to the 59th Street Bridge too. Let's try to avoid this guy. Hey, Zozo Bob's, Tom. It's 78 degrees and sunny in Florida. I'm jealous, Zozo Bob. You know, I enjoyed my time in Miami. I know the AVX Girls' happy hour begins. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere. Isn't that what Jimmy Buffett said? But look, Zozo Bob, I enjoyed my time in Florida. I was in Miami for about 2 weeks. The weather was absolutely beautiful. It was unreal. And I can't wait to be back. Although it is nice to be back in New York, I'm not gonna lie. However, as all of you know, I do tend to be a little bit of a warmer weather person, so to speak. You're going to start to see the tram that takes you to Roosevelt Island. I haven't been on that thing in years, guys. It's going to become much more windy. Hey, Bree Graham says happy Friday, everybody. Thank you, Bree. Appreciate it. All right, this is now 3rd Avenue. 2 more blocks to go. And then we're actually going to make a right and head downtown. Since it was raining today, I bet the East River is going to look like the Colorado Rapids. The water is going to be flowing like crazy. Hey Yogi, good to see you. Right on the corner of East 59th Street and 3rd Avenue, check out this brand new condo that went up. This almost looks like a Miami-esque design. Everything is white. Everything is in glass, and it has balconies all around. You'll notice, I would say 99% of the new product that's going up in Miami all has really nice balconies. For obvious reasons, right? If you're gonna live in South Florida, it's pretty much perfect weather year round. So you want a nice space to hang out outside. Hey Roxanne, good to see you. We are right across you from Bloomberg, East 58th Street. You'll notice everybody's turning right on 3rd Avenue because this is the 59th Street Bridge. Many people only have to work a couple days a week in the office. So if you drive into the office on Friday, you're probably going to take the 59th Street Bridge out to Queens. And I think that'll drop you off at Van Dam Street. When we get to the corner here on 2nd, we'll be able to see the line for the 59th Street Bridge. The traffic's probably going to get worse as we head towards 5 o'clock. I think this is the first wave. So these people actually got lucky to try to get out before everybody else does. And here we are. You can see all the cars going to the 59th Street Bridge. Traffic doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's flowing nicely. Okay, let's cross southbound and head to Sutton Place. I'm thinking about what I should eat for dinner. Now, if you pull off to the side, look at this. 432 Park Avenue is now about a third of the way covered in the clouds. You can't even see the top of the building. Look at it. So right here is the top. The vast majority is totally covered in the clouds. All right, we'll cross since we have the light.
Every half an hour.
ETC is Mediterranean food? Maybe. It's a possibility. Now look at how gorgeous this place is. This is, looks like an antique furniture store. Look at how nice that is. Both of the buildings side by side look really nice. Ooh, Laytha says, how about Becco? Whew, that's tempting. I'll give that a maybe. I gotta go back to the office and do some work. I don't know if I'm gonna have time for Becco. Maybe like a late night in the office type thing. But Becco does sound good, not gonna lie. But really, really stunning properties here. What do you guys think? I kind of like the old colonial style. And I like how they put the plants in the windows. Sort of reminds me of like New England, almost. Alright, if I go to Becco tonight, it's only if Western Mass Dave will join us. No Dave, no Becco. That's the rule. That's a new Friday rule here on the stream. No Dave, no Becco. D, I thought about soup, just not a big soup guy, honestly. I feel like soup doesn't really fill you up too much. Now these buildings are stunning here. These are the original buildings. Hey, Brittany McMurdy, long time no see, friend. Hope you're well. Welcome to a very rainy New York. Just gonna be a short stream. We're just gonna check out Sutton Place. I really like this neighborhood. Beautiful neighborhood. It's gonna be very quiet. You're kind of secluded away from all the hustle bustle in the city, but it's also within walking distance. I think that's the main sort of pros about the neighborhood. So this is 57th Street. This is Billionaires Row. If you continue to walk west, you'll reach all of the Billionaires Row buildings, such as 432 Park Avenue, 157 Central Park Tower, and the like. We're gonna head the other way. We're gonna go east. Check out the East River. Oh, no way, is that right? This is the way I used to walk home from the gym. It's a beautiful neighborhood. However, notice all of the traffic around rush hour. I think that's just one of the things you need to keep in mind if you're thinking about moving here. You are going to have significant traffic during rush hour because you have the on-ramp to the bridge right there. Hey, Mil Gox is here. What's up? Welcome. All right, so if you look to your right, you'll notice all of these beautiful doorman buildings. The vast majority of them are co-ops. But I think Sutton Place has really, really nice charm. Hey, Sally, good to see you. Destructionist, welcome. Solo Flyer, I have not been. I'll check it out. I'll Google it. I'll take a screenshot. Hey, LA007, thank you so much. Colleen is here. Hey, Colleen. All right, so now since we're on First Avenue, we're really getting into the Sutton Place neighborhood. Look at how beautiful and quaint. There's a lot of nice bars here. Very charming neighborhood type feel. You have a community dry cleaners here. But some of the buildings I'm about to show you are just absolutely spectacular and stunning. And you can see the 59th Street Bridge up above. Hey, Mauricio, this is Tom. In my opinion, what makes New York City great is the mixture of the new buildings and the colonial buildings. I totally agree. You know what? I have to take you guys down to Stone Street. That's one of the things we have to do. You can see across the street, 57th Street and First Avenue, is the Sutton Place Wine Shop. And then all of those really nice brick buildings are those beautiful co-ops. You'll have doormen, and it's going to get very, very quiet once you cross First Avenue, headed east. Very dog-friendly neighborhood too. You notice everybody walking their dogs even in the rain. could see the doorman to your right. Very classic Upper East Side. Hey, Shelly says my husband and I would move back to New York City if we lived in Sutton Place. Hey, if you're thinking about moving back to New York City, let me know. We will help you out here at the Kirsten Jordan team at Douglas Elliman. We'll find you a good deal. You can negotiate a good deal. This market where interest rates are, valuations have to come down. So if a seller wants to do a deal, well, you're gonna have to negotiate on price. Check out how gorgeous those buildings are across the street, everybody. The rain is really starting to pick up now as well. You notice how the foot traffic just totally dropped off? Because this is all residential over here. Not a lot of off, well, pretty much no office, no commercial office space over on this side. Yeah, Joe, that's true. We have the next FOMC meeting. But we also heard from Fed Chair Jerome Powell yesterday. Everybody, check out the facade of this building on the right. It's almost like a pinkish marble stone. It kind of looks pink, doesn't it? And this is officially my favorite spot in Sutton Place. All the way on Sutton Place and 57th Street. Look across the street at all the beautiful architecture. Beautiful townhouses as well. What do you guys think? I think this view is perfect. It's a very, very peaceful view with the rain. Look at this building, number 2 Sutton Place South. I'm not sure if you guys could see that beautiful fireplace in the back, but in the lobby, it has this amazing fireplace. This nice sort of rotunda, probably for, pick up and drop off. But if you're all enjoying the live stream so far this evening, feel free to leave a like on the stream and click the subscribe button if you're new. We usually go live starting at 8:30 p.m. But oftentimes we'll sometimes do a daytime neighborhood walking tour. This is 4 Sutton Place. This is a perfect time to step off to the side and look at those gorgeous townhouses across the street. Doesn't that look amazing? We usually check these out at night, but you can see the architecture a little bit better here. Yeah, Dan Sang. Says, Tom, are you able to represent me on the buy side? Absolutely. Absolutely, I can. If you're looking to buy something in New Jersey, I would probably refer you to a broker that I know who does significant business in Jersey, but anywhere within New York City, that's where our team specializes. Also in, oh, look at this dog. Dog doesn't want to get all wet. Dog's like reluctant to go out. We need to get like a little doggy umbrella. That's funny. Okay, this stretch of buildings right here is my all-time favorite at Sutton Place. Amazing. But Dan, yeah, absolutely. I could 100% help you out. Yeah, the Wizards is the Greystone building is amazing. It is. Now wait until you all see the park at the end of the block. Really, really nice. All right, I think we can go after this car passes. Let's just get one more up close and personal look at some of these townhomes, and you'll really start to understand why I talk about them so much. Look at the attention to detail on the doors as well as the brick facade. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Imagine being able to have a literal front door to your house in New York City, 5-minute walk away from Midtown Manhattan. It's really just unbelievable. This one's really nice, all decorated for Halloween. All right, everybody in the chat, which entryway and which facade do you like the best out of this row right here? I think if I had to pick, like if money was no issue, I think I'd pick this one. Because I love how the door, it's like almost like a red oak door. It really pops in contrast to the white facade here. Ah, you guys are saying 17? So this is 15. 17's nice too. Ah, you like the one with the flower boxes? This one's nice. Ah, Vinny's is 15. I mean, they're all just absolutely stunning. But wait, there's more. If you thought these were gorgeous, if you thought these were stunning. Oh, Des is, you like the third one, the white building? That one's nice. This is going to be even more stunning. I think you guys are going to be extremely impressed. First and foremost, the presentation on the block is amazing. Look at that. You have all of these trees that are changing color, and in the distance, you have that beautiful contrast with the 59th Street Bridge. I mean, is this not cool? I mean, imagine walking home from work every day and this is your commute. Now this is fantastic. As we turn the corner here, we've officially reached Sutton Place Park. This is my favorite park. I take you guys here all the time, but check out a lot of these townhouses that border and that have an amazing view of the East River. So you have your own private driveway that is 24/7, 365 security camera. And your backyard, your views is literally this. Let's turn on the wide angle lens for a moment just so you could see a little bit better. Isn't that amazing? And check out those townhouses. It's a beautiful block. Let's go into the park. We'll have to duck under the leaves here. Okay, this is spectacular. And down here, everybody, this is the brand new East River Elevated Park. Kind of like the High Line, but on the east side. And look at the facades, the buildings across the street. It's stunning. So I saw somebody in the chat asking if this is a private park. It's not. That's the beauty of it. This right here is open to the public. And one of the reasons why I like taking the audience here is because a lot of the times when tourists come to New York City, they hang out around Times Square, you know, they hang around the south part of Central Park, and they never really come to these hidden gems over here. I mean, if you've never been to New York City before and you're a tourist, would you ever know a place like this existed? Probably not. It's really nice. You could sit down on the park bench and have amazing views of the 59th Street Bridge, the trolley, and all of Roosevelt Island. Yeah, hang with Mark Mom, I agree. Hey, S&E, have a fantastic time at your football game and have a great weekend. Now, if I had this place in these bay windows right here, I'd probably set up my personal home library and I would make it kind of look like the Morgan Library with all the wood paneling. So imagine getting your work done and having a crazy view. Really amazing. Memo says, Tom, have you ever gone to Roosevelt Island? Yeah, I've been. It's nice. It's just a little bit too far away though, in my opinion. some people like living there. I just don't know if I could live there. It just seems a little bit too secluded, and the commute may be a little bit too much, just so to say. I want you to pay attention to the East River. Look at how fast it's moving. That's moving incredibly fast. All right, let's head back up. Now, in Q1 of 2000, oh wow, guys, I don't know if you could see that. Hold on. If you look really closely right here in this window, they've built an amazing spiral staircase going all the way up to the 3rd floor. So the spiral staircase is literally encompassing the entire window here. That is so unique. Wow. That'd be amazing to do a tour of that building. This one is really nice too. You have your own private driveway. It's insane. I know, Janice, right? Crazy. Now, in Q1 of 2024, I don't want to jump the gun, but it's looking like we may have a really, really stunning and exciting listing in one of these townhouses. I can't say exactly where yet. A few blocks from here. So if we get that listing, I would love to do a live stream of the inside of that building. I think you guys would absolutely love it. And that's one of the things I'm going to be incorporating in the newsletter as well. So in addition to all of the equity research about the stock market, the global capital markets, fixed income, at the end of each newsletter, what I want to do is highlight a featured listing, and I'll have embedded a video tour of the specific properties. So hopefully we get that listing here at Sutton Place Q1 of next year, so we'll be able to, you know, showcase that to you guys. Really beautiful. But if you want to sign up for that newsletter, it's our free financial newsletter written by myself, covering the equity markets, fixed income, and real estate. You'll receive it for free every other Thursday after the market closes. So I'll email it directly to your email box on the closing bell every other Thursday. And if you scan the QR code, you could read our latest research that we sent out last Thursday, all about the CPI report, how that is going to impact interest rates, and a little bit of a blurb about sort of a lesson about building a discounted cash flow model for specific companies. So if you want to stay in tune and connected with us here at Walks in Wall Street, scan the QR code and punch in your email, and you could sign up for free every other Thursday. I'll send it to you. You know, this looks like a private NYPD security box. Isn't that interesting? It's like a NYPD little outpost here at Sutton Place. All right, I think we made it in time so we could see the other park. But look at this. This is an amazing facade right here. Beautiful. This almost reminds you of, you know, you're walking in like a little neighborhood of Boston, maybe. Let's see if this park has finished its renovations. It looks like it's still all chain linked up. Oh no, we could actually go in. This is great. If you remember correctly, when we do the streams at night and we do Sutton Place, we can never get in here because it's always closed. Wow, this is amazing. All right, what do you guys think about this park? Sutton Place Park. The landscaping is immaculate. The views are insane. Let me turn on the wide angle camera lens so you can see it a little bit better. Wow, I don't think the camera does it justice. This is a really amazing place. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And it's so peaceful. And you'll notice the park extends all the way down here. Oh my gosh, this is, I don't remember this. This must be all extended and brand new. Imagine having an apartment in one of these buildings. Whoa, look at how ominous the clouds look like over there. That is insane. That's incredible. You could just see the Williamsburg Bridge. You know, I think this is a little bit of an outdoor library here. Look at this. Hey, Terry Wells, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Wow, this is so unique. There's a mini outdoor library here. You know what I may do? I may put a book in here, and it'll be the Walks on Wall Street Book of the Month. If anybody wants to come and check it out, you could find out what the Book of the Month will be. I may start that November 1st. Mark my words, it will be in here, and I'll change it out every month. I think that'll be a cool thing. And then if anybody comes here, you just sign your name in the book. We'll see how many people come. But I mean, this is an insane view. So peaceful here. Even though it's pouring raining, it's really nice. But if you are all enjoying the live stream so far today, feel free to hit the like button and click the subscribe button, because we do these streams pretty much every day. We'd love to have you aboard. So please hit the subscribe button. I know LA 0070 is treasure found on a very rainy day, I know. But you know what, everybody? Doesn't it kind of look like the sun's trying to break through across the river there? If anything, it looks like the storm is moving north. Oh wow, Christina Jesus, my cousin lives on Sutton Place. Oh wow, Sutton Place is fantastic. It's so beautiful. And again, a lot of the co-ops here are trading, in terms of a price per square foot, they're trading below some of the newer condos, just because a lot of people want all of the amenities. But if you're looking for a tranquil and peaceful place to live, you can get a deal, right? You can get a deal. I mean, just go on Street Easy and you'll notice a lot of the condos in Midtown, and just compare the price per square foot to Sutton Place. Yeah, you're gonna live in an older building, but if you don't need the pools, if you don't need all the bells and whistles, and you're okay with living in an older building, Sutton Place is for you. I may consider Sutton Place even. I think when I'm gonna buy in New York, I'm either gonna buy on Central Park South in my old building, or it's probably gonna be right here in Sutton Place. Because to live in New York City, I don't know, for me, and let me know what you guys think in the chat. If you're working in Midtown Manhattan every day, the hustle and bustle and the craziness, wouldn't you want a place like this to come home to? Not a lot of people, just very quiet. I don't know, maybe I'm different. That's just my sort of personality, but I don't know. That's why I like the Upper West Side. You always hear me talk about the Upper West Side of Manhattan. It's kind of similar, right, with those brownstone buildings. We'll let this person come down. Random YouTube viewers, I love Gramercy, but it's expensive. I have a few listings right on 23rd Street, just above Gramercy Park. If you type !23 in the chat, the Nightbot will drop a link to the property tours of some of my listings there. The building is called Gramercy North, 139 East 23rd Street. We just closed on Unit 7. So Unit 7, we sold it. So the building is over 75% sold now. We just have to sell unit number 2, unit number 12. Oh, now it's really starting to pour. And unit number 14. I think we're getting our second round of rain. It just started pouring out of nowhere. Hey, DM, happy Friday. Okay, I have to head back to the office now, but since the office is on the way, I'll take you guys with me. I gotta get some work done before the end of the day. Hey, Vinny, I appreciate that. Hopefully it stops raining tonight. Oh, no way. DM's just Tom. I was in Staten Island today and I went through Red Hook. Ooh, nice. Did you pass by the Conover? That's so funny. Too bad it was raining. Maybe you could have stopped by and had lunch at that. There's a really good lobster place in Red Hook. But that's cool. Hopefully you had a good time in Staten Island. Hey, Colton Manning, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Does anybody know if it's going to rain all night and all day tomorrow? Hopefully not. Hey, welcome everybody from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Thanks for being here. I'm sure the weather's a lot better in Brazil. Hey, Karina Thompson says, Tom, I love coming to Sutton Place. It's one of my favorite spots in the city. It's one of mine too. I love it. That's why I decided to take you all here during the day. Everybody's saying it's gonna rain all day and night. Ah, well. Just hopefully it doesn't flood. That's my only request. And you know what, guys? I'm not sure if you can make it out on the camera, but I don't know if you can see it, but there's about an inch of water that's already piled up on the streets. So if this happens all the way throughout the night into tomorrow, I don't know about that. Can you see it? Look, it's already starting to pile up. So if this continues all night into tomorrow, that's gonna fill up. And we could have a repeat of what happened 2 weeks ago, where there was major, massive flooding. You can look at this guy. The doorman is even trying to clear some of the drainage. Crazy. Wow, DM says, Tom, this is our 7th consecutive weekend of rain. God. Hopefully it doesn't rain on Sunday, because I have to go all the way out to Brooklyn and it's such a pain when it rains. a free MPLS. Those floods were insane. Now, does your username stand for multi-protocol label switching? Or maybe it stands for something else. Maybe that's just the telecom in me. MPLS networks. Multi-protocol label switching. Yeah, Mayflower, that's true. The L is always down. But, so if I'm gonna go to Red Hook, what I'll do is I'll take the 2 train. All the way to Brooklyn. And then I will take an Uber to Red Hook. Because the Uber is about $7 from Clark Street. Yeah, so we used to help a lot of customers go from MPLS to SD-WAN. So an SD-WAN network is a software-defined wide area network. So companies like Cradlepoint, Palo Alto Networks. Oh, you know what we're going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about the major cybersecurity breach that happened at Okta. We always talk about Okta. It's a cybersecurity company that trades under the ticker symbol OKTA. They specialize in identity and access management. And there was a massive, massive breach. I think the stock was down like 15% today on the news. Well, at least the scaffolding is coming in handy in one way or the other. Hey, Niles. Happy Friday. All right, almost to Park Avenue. CJ says, are you going to be at Manhattan Henge? Wasn't that over the summer? Manhattan Henge? I'm not a big Manhattan Henge kind of guy. If you look all the way in the distance, it actually looks like it's clearing a little bit. You can see 157. It looks like the east side is getting all the rain, and the west side actually looks like it may be dry. Somebody's like, how busy is the office right now? Not too busy. I just got to wrap up some things and send out some emails before the week is over. So we have Lexington Avenue coming up, and then we're gonna go over 2 more. I'm right on Madison Avenue. Skater says, Tom, on average, how many hours do you work a week? It's a good question. I don't know if I can give you a realistic answer, because a lot of the stuff I do, many people would consider it work, but I don't really consider it work. Like, many people would consider these streams work. I don't. Many people would consider, you know, me writing the newsletter and writing all the research pieces work. I don't, because I do that anyway, pretty much 24/7, 365. You know, in the real estate business, it's pretty much you're on 24/7, right? And the weekends are the most busy. That's when you have most of the activity, because that's when you have all the open houses, and that's when the majority of people could see apartments. So I don't know, I'm buzzing around all the time. I'm always buzzing around. I would say over 60. I'd say like of actual work, like working deals, maybe 50. And then the rest is like working on stuff that's like building out my own infrastructure. Now, when I was in tech sales early on in my career, I was cranking out like investment banking hours, like 80 hours a week. It was nuts. But it was worth it. When you're young, I think that's when you do that crazy stuff. You're in the office all the time, you're prospecting. Yeah, and you build a really big book of business, which is worth it as you get older, trust me. You want to try to build a massive book of business when you're really young, right? Starting from 18 and in your early 20s, because when you're 18 years old to your early 20s, you have tons of energy. So you want to use that energy to the best of your ability to accumulate a network. So I think in that aspect, it's worth it. However, if you work crazy hours, there comes a point where you need to transition to working on things you really enjoy, or else you're going to really get burnt out. If you enjoy it and you work 80 to 90 hours a week, you're never going to get burnt out because you enjoy it, you like it. But if you loathe the job you have and you're forced to do 80 hours a week, you're going to have some serious health problems. Like, I remember when I was an account executive and we were closing deals left and right. I mean, we were firing on all cylinders. It was just like a euphoric feeling. And I was putting in 85 hours a week, you know, programming, you know, devices with all this software at the office till 1 a.m. I was so amped up and ready to do it because we were closing deals, customers were happy, and everything was great. We were making a lot of money. But I would assume if you are working so hard and you don't see any results, and you're working for a boss that you don't like, and you're forced to do 80 hours a week, well, then that's, you know, you're going to deteriorate and you're going to get very stressed out. Well, speaking of work, team, here I'm back at the office and I have to let you guys go. If you enjoyed the live stream, feel free to leave a like on the video. Click the subscribe button if you're new. And if you want to sign up to read all of my equity research for free, just scan the QR code on your screen. You can punch in your email, and then every other Thursday, you will be able to read all of my thoughts and research on the equity market, fixed income market, global macro, and real estate here in New York and Miami. It's also a great way to support the stream. So make sure you're signed up for that, and I will see you all later tonight, probably around 9 o'clock. and I want to wish you all a very, very happy Friday. So take care, everybody, and thank you for watching this daytime edition of Walks and Wall Street.